So now, what was the pivotal moment where you said, you know what, now it's time. It's time for me to tell my story.
So last year I had started trying to do it on my own. And I was like, okay, Lord, this is not going anywhere. I mean, the paper was halfway empty. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I ended up in a coaching session with a lady, and she introduced me to the lady that helped me write my book. Her name is Penda L. James. And we started June 19th. And before the end of November, we were done.
Wow. That means it was supposed to happen.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Breaking the Silence with Author Nikki Nicole, where you can unleash your inner voice. Breaking the Silence started with unleashing my voice, coming out of my shell. But as time passed by, the vision became more clearer. I wanted to shine the light on everyday people doing great things and be the platform for people to be themselves again, tell their stories, and heal from their scars. So I hope that you will enjoy this episode and you will continue to break the silence with me.
Hey, is it hard?
Welcome back to another episode of Breaking the Silence, where you can unleash your inner voice. I am your host, Author Nikki Nicole, and season 5 is still going with some amazing people taking things to the next level and winning. Over the past few seasons, you've seen pain uncovered, you've seen new talent discovered, and transformation has occurred. Every episode has broke the silence in some type of way. And I will continue to shine that light even in the darkness to empower people to rise to the next level. It is time for us to be heard. It's time for us to be healed. And it's time for us to transform. Today's guest is Miss Treisha Combo. Man, when I tell you this woman is amazing, she's amazing. Don't take my word for it, because when she get across the platform, I want you to see how great she is. She's the author of Ain't No Shame. She's an entrepreneur. She was also featured on Women Winning at the Writing Podcast. So after her countdown, please welcome this amazing woman to the platform today. How are you doing?
All right. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing a little bit better than I was, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So tell everybody a little bit about yourself before we get started.
I am Treisha Combo. I am 47 years old. I am a wife, a mother of 3 girls. I am a domestic violence survivor. I wear a lot of hats, and I'm just happy to be here.
Awesome, awesome. So how did your journey start with the pen, the pencil, and the paper?
Okay, so my business coach had encouraged me to write a book, but my mom has been telling me to write a book for over 20 years. And I was like, Mom, I am not fitting to put my stuff out here on these streets, girl. What's wrong with you? But finally, after 20 years, over 20 years of her saying it, I was like, okay, Lord, what we doing? And it was time. So,
Wow. You sound like me. My son was saying the same thing. You need to write a book. You need to write a book. And I was like, I'm not telling folk my business. What you think this is? So you did it. So now, what was the pivotal moment where you said, you know what, now it's time for me to tell my story?
So last year I had started trying to do it on my own. And I was like, okay, Lord, this is not going anywhere. I mean, the paper was halfway empty. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I ended up in a coaching session with a lady, and she introduced me to the lady that helped me write my book. Her name is Penda L. James. And we started June 19th. And before the end of November, we were done.
That mean it was supposed to happen.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The book was supposed to be about money. And me and her met for the first time at Mocha Cafe, and we were talking, and she asked me something about my past. And as I was telling her the story, I just started crying. And I got really quiet, and she looked up at me. She said, well, God wanted me to let you know that your book is no longer about money. And that is when we sat there and came up with the name of the book.
Wow. So how did you come up with the name for the book?
Ain't No Shame came about because we were talking about my great grandmother, and I didn't know how she was conceived because she was conceived by, well, let me tell you this, her dad is a white doctor, or was a white doctor. So I didn't know back in that day, other things were going on. I don't know if I forgot, I should have asked you these questions, but I don't know if we're supposed to talk about all the things. But yeah, so I don't know if her mom was a slave or it was some other type of situation that happened. But
Right.
my story and her story, my great great grandmother's story, were similar. So it was just like, okay, I don't know what's going on. And then I was like, I'm so tired of everybody sweeping stuff under the rug. And that's when it hit me. It came out my mouth like, ain't no shame in what I've been through.
Mm.
And then she was like, that's it. That's the title. And I was like, I'm so glad you know what you're doing, girl.
But you know what? You right. People back in the day, people did sweep a lot of things under the rug, and made it seem like it didn't even happen. Molestation, all types of things were happening in families, and people was just like, it didn't happen. But the hurt was still there, the pain was still there. So, but you sweep it under the rug like it meant nothing. And then, back in the day too, therapy wasn't suggested. We just black families just I'm just gonna put it out there. Didn't think therapy was something as long as you got God, that's all the therapy you need. But hey, we can have Jesus and we can have God at the same time. Either way, we're gonna heal. Both ways we're gonna heal. It's double healing.
That's right. Yeah. I agree with you 100%. So yes, I am in therapy. I go to therapy twice a month. I'm in trauma therapy now. I've been through 5 therapists. So I finally made it to the trauma therapist. So it was just a gradual stepping stone of getting where I needed to be at, because the things that the other 4 therapists was working on and trying to help me get, it was not helping. So I
Wow.
finally got the right person, and everything's going so much better now.
I hear a lot of people say they go through a lot of therapists before they get to the right therapist. But I'm like, so how do you know who to target when it comes down to choosing the right one that's going to fit your needs?
So for me, my first therapist, we worked well together. She was married, I was married, so, and she had kids and I had kids, so everything was meshing. But somewhere down the line, her situation changed. So of course her thoughts and her
Right.
the way she handled things changed. She became single, and it was just like a few other things. And then the insurance said, well, we're not going to pay her anymore. So she was out
Mm,
of network. And that was just God's sign for me.
that's it.
Just saying, okay, it's time to move forward. So, and that's what I did. And then I had another therapist, and same thing. The insurance popped up, and no, I don't know her situation. We were always virtual, but she was very good at what she did. But I was like, Lord, what am I going to do? I said, I need my therapist. I said, I need to be able to get these things out, because you can't talk to your husband or your girlfriends about everything,
You can't.
because the same situation, your girlfriends might have had a different experience than what you had, or your
Hmm.
girlfriend may be single and you're married. I don't want to be where she at. I love
Right.
people, I do, but that ain't where I'm at. So
As
yeah, so that's how that happened. And I did end up explaining to my last therapist about what was going on. And then she was like, okay, well, this is what we do. She said, I specialize in trauma.
mm,
And from there, she did share with me her story. And so that helped me as well. So it was
those are the
just,
best therapists. The best
yeah,
therapists have a story.
yeah. But it was a combination though, because I did have a little bit more help. Like I had this pastor that helped me with inner healing.
Mm.
So I had a couple sessions with her, and that was needed because my story is that I was drugged and I was assaulted, so I couldn't remember what was happening. So if I did try to talk about it to anybody, they were like, oh no, you don't even remember the whole thing. You telling
Right.
something wrong, you know but I just thank God because He did put her in my life. And in July, I was able to get that inner healing, and I was able to remember the whole situation.
Wow.
And I'm going to tell you, it hurt to know the whole situation,
I'm sure.
but I praise God for waiting till I was the 47-year-old Treisha, because the other Treisha probably would have been an orange
Mm.
in jail. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. So all praise goes to God for walking me through all of the trauma that I've been through, and that right appropriate time for me to be able to still handle it the way that I'm handling it. So he gets
Everything
all
is
glory.
everything is in God's timing. Everything. It just
Yep.
wasn't time for you to know the full details. Like you said, you'd have been in the orange suit and the flip flaps if it was
Yeah.
back then. But he knew that you were strong enough now to know the full story and be able to move forward in a good way. So
Yeah.
God's timing. That's all you gotta say. God's timing.
God's
So what
time is right. He always on time.
on
Always on.
time, you be on time now. So what
Yeah.
message do you hope that you can convey to your audience through your book?
It's okay to live, to come out of your shame, because yes, I was that one that was quiet and kept everything to myself. I protected me in such a way that I didn't let anybody in. But now I'm just like, psh, hey, how you doing, what your name is, girl, and all this stuff. I'm just a bubble of fun. Like I can have a party right by myself and it'll be all right. So
But you know,
I'm just thankful. I tell them all the time. I say, Lord, thank you so much for making me who I am and not trying to box me in and not let me shine. So yeah,
I think that's what everybody, they're in a shell at some point because for one, they don't know how to trust people, especially when they went through a lot of trauma and a lot of disappointments. And I was like that in a shell. Didn't want to deal with nobody. And not really that I didn't want to deal with people, but the thing when you go through things, you don't know who to trust. You don't know who's for you and who's not for you. So you move a little bit differently. You're just observed and you just sit back and watch. So I can definitely relate to you when you said that.
yes, ma'am.
So how has writing your book changed your perspective on life and yourself?
It has opened me up. God continues to remind me, ain't no shame. This is bigger than me. So that's one of those things that just keeps resonating in my mind and my spirit. And for 20 years, I sat on it. See, Miss Nikki, I have so many testimonies. So at 25, I went into cardiac arrest, and I had that out of body experience, and God was able to save me. I can remember it just like it was yesterday. My aunt was there in spirit because she was in heaven. She died when I was 16, and she touched me and helped me to come back. And her story is similar to mine. We had a family member to assault her, and she chose drugs over trying to get help. and she died at 46 years old. So it's just so many things that God has done for me, brought me through. I can still remember standing in heaven at the gates, asking him to let me in. And 21 years has passed since then. And I keep telling God, okay, what do you want me to do? I have work to do. Whatever he wants me to do, I'm going to do it. So, and definitely it's no shame in trusting and believing in God, because I know that I hear him. I know that the Holy Spirit is with me. So what else can I do except for be obedient and do what he tells me to do?
Absolutely. But you know what? There's one word, purpose. It
Yep.
wasn't your time because you had work to do. He knew your story was already written before you was even born. And he already knew what was going to happen to you before it happened, but you didn't know. But we
Right.
have to go through certain things in our lives to get to certain levels in our lives. And we don't know what God is trying to do. We don't know. We just go through these things and we go through all this pain and this hurt, but it's a test of your faith. It's a test to see if you're going to pass. He took you through those still waters for a reason. And when people understand that when you were at, like you said, you were standing at that gate and he would not let you in because he knew that you had purpose to be here. Ain't no shame. There
There
it
you go.
is.
Yep.
There it is. So what has been your biggest challenge um when writing the book? I mean, it don't seem like you had any too many challenges because it was just like it's in me, I put it out there.
No, I had challenges because I'm gonna tell you again, my girl Penda would she would text me and she'd be like, okay, we went through a lot of stuff. Are you all right? Just checking in. And to this day, we still check in with each other. We talk on a regular, and it's just like, she was like, this was a lot. This was a lot to unpack. How are you feeling? And I just thank God for her. He just continues to place people right where I need them. So it's just a true blessing to be, as you when you hear the words, cast all your cares upon him. He'll fix everything, and all of these things. These things really happen. And this is the thing that I remind myself of all the time. Hey, hey, he got you. God got this. All of those things. So it's just like, just keep moving. He already knew, like you said.
Mm-hmm. But I didn't think about it that way, that you did have to dig deep and you had to relive those moments through writing. And me as a author, when I try to write something that was tragic or traumatic, you have to open that wound all over again and relive it all over again. Then you have to try your best to come back out of that moment because now it took you to that place again. Now you're sad. So you're right. I didn't think about it that way, but yeah, you put yourself in that situation all over again. So what does resilience mean to you, and how has it the understanding of it all changed over a time period?
For me, resilience is just taking that hit. Sometimes I do take hits, and I just shake it off and keep right on going. I am an avid prayer, a prayer warrior. I pray and I pray and I pray, and I trust him, and I know that he's got everything. So it's not, if self takes over, yes, it's gonna be hard. But I have enough sense to know that it's not me. That I can let God take over. He has his angels all around me. I'm gonna tell you this, and I know it's funny. It'll be funny once you hear it. But so I suffer from low potassium, and one night I was in the bed and I had, it had dropped really low, and I can hear my angel saying, "Well, who you gonna help if you ain't him?" And I said, "You got one of them feisty angels working with me, huh?" It was, I heard it clear as day. I was like, "Hey, really, we doing this today?" So I got up, got my medicine, and went back and laid back down. But it scared me a little bit. But like I was like, okay, we got a little feisty angel here. Okay.
Oh God, so what you gonna do if you ain't here? Wow, that's true though. That's true. You got to be here.
That's right. Who am I going to help if I'm no longer here? So that
Exactly.
just reminds me again. Hey, hey, you got work to do.
You got work to
Get
do.
up. Let's do it.
So, are you gonna do a series with this book, or did you finish everything in this book, or are you gonna open up another? Because you said you have stories for days. So, are you gonna do
Yeah.
another testimony?
So I do have my workbook, and I just finished it with Ingram Sparks. So I have to get a proof coming in. So I have a workbook. My goal is to work on so that segues into I have a from it's roots from roots to fruit virtual summit coming up next Monday. It's a 4-day event, and we'll talk more about that at the end. But that is the goal, to promote this book and the workbook and all of those things. And then we're supposed to be transitioning back to that half a book I already wrote about money. So
Okay, so you going back
that's,
to it.
but you know what? I still could honestly use that title because it really, we're gonna go ahead and get into that too. I was one of those ones that has been blessed with lump sums of money and have wasted it. And here we are at 46 last year. I just restarted my mutual fund investments and things like that. So it's still needed. So,
Right. But
yeah.
you're right, because the older generations didn't know anything about that type of stuff, saving money. They thought just spend it, spend it, spend it. You ain't gonna you can't take it with you when you die. So it was no savings, no trust funds, but they didn't know either, in their defense. So it's that book is definitely needed for people, because a lot of people don't know how to manage their money.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
what the goal is to be three children's book. We're gonna break them down into age groups, and then an adult book about money, because that is one of our things. Like a lot of us mess up and go out and get the fancy cars instead of thinking about, okay, I got these small kids, but I don't have no life insurance policy. What happens if something happens to me? And then, I mean, I'm a nurse, so of course I hear and pay attention to this. I can't say it because of these braces. The statistics, there you go, got it out right. Of how many kids are in foster care, how many kids are struggling, or how many, how many of people are in the project. So, things like that. So I like to meet people where they are. Like I told you, I'm a mom of three, and those girls, it was three girls, and they kind of stressed me out a little bit. But then the Lord just reminded me, meet them where they are. And definitely now, all three of them are different. They have their own personalities, and that's where I meet them at. That's what I've done. So I can pick up the phone or send a text and say, "Hey, how you doing?" And they're gonna go ahead and break it down. And then I'm gonna be like, "Okay, are you in therapy? Did you see your therapist this week?" And I'm asking all of those important questions. So yeah.
yes. Wow. You know, people in general in life, we start off on one track, and then we get on another track, and then, you like I said, you don't have people around you to advise you when it comes down to certain things. So it's important to have people in your circle that can encourage you, can motivate you, to teach you things, because you may not know certain things. That book is going to change a lot of lives, I'm telling you.
Yeah, so definitely that is the truth on that one. So for me, I do want to touch on this one too, though. So thank you so much for inviting me to the podcast. I really appreciate that, because some of us don't know how to get along. We always want to, oh, I want to be better than her, da 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 da. But if you see me doing well, you should have enough confidence in yourself. If you don't do nothing else but send me a message on Instagram and say, "Hey, girl, I see how you living. I like what you doing. What you doing? Can you help me?" And that's what I don't have no problem with doing it. Just know for sure I am checking out all, like Tabitha Brown. I'm on Instagram with her. That little lady that did her name is April Showers. Yes, Instagram. I'm stalking you. I'm following you. Whatever you want to call it. But look, it's so many women that I'm watching. So I see what you're doing. I want to be where you are. I'm gonna reach out to you at some point. You can answer me if you don't. I mean, you can or you can't, but it would be better probably for you to answer me, because if God puts you on my heart to reach out to you, one way or another, we gonna connect, boo.
You ain't gonna give up.
No, no, that's that
You sound
resilience,
like
girl.
me.
That's that resilience right there. So
Oh man. But you're right. People are so stuck on people doing better than them than to help one another get to the next level. What's wrong with helping each other? I mean, we can win together.
we are supposed to win together, and we are better together.
Better together. Exactly.
Yeah,
And they don't get that concept. But hey, it may change one day. We gotta keep hope alive.
that's right. But it's okay either way. But like I said, if God put you on my spirit to reach out to you, I'm gonna do my job. I got to be obedient because I don't want to be. I don't. No, ma'am.
They gonna respond eventually. They gonna learn today. They gonna respond eventually.
They gonna learn today. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And then
Oh
if I
man.
really get real serious and get on my knees and pray,
I'm telling you, it's gonna happen then.
mm-hmm.
it's gonna happen. So I'm down to my last two questions. These are two out of the box questions. If somebody wrote a book about you, what would the name of that book be?
A hot mess. That's what it will probably be. A hot mess. Or how did you get through all this? God.
Not a hot mess. I was good with it. Oh man.
I
So
just
if
love having a good time. I am serious about certain things, but most of the time, you can ask my friends, like, that girl crazy. She is off the chain. Um, she is always making us laugh. Girl, it's always, girl, you
you
crazy,
got
or
to,
yeah,
you got to. I mean, the more you laugh, the better your life will be. That's how I
yeah.
look at it. You gotta laugh. You gotta have a good time
Mm-hmm.
because even in the bad times, still gotta laugh.
Yeah.
So my last question for you is, if you could write a letter to your future self as a published author, what wisdom or questions would you include?
So you need to give me some ages, like, and then I can count it because I done this already. But, all right. So, to my future self. Oh, yeah. Okay. So to my future self, don't let your children drive you crazy. No, I'm getting over that too, because it's a lot. It's not a struggle, but you know how you have that one. It's always got to be that one, right? That
Yes,
don't want to act right,
I
and
got
then
that
that's the
one.
one that remind you so much of yourself. You be like, ooh. And then when
Yes.
I see my mom, I be like, Mom, I'm sorry. Do I need to buy you something? Do what y'all need over here at the house so I can apologize for the things that I done? Because
Not make
the
you
things that
apologize to your mama.
I do. I'd be like, Mom, I'm sorry. And I'd be like, was that really just bad? Was that? Because I need to know.
Oh my
Because I have
God.
two sisters. So I have three girls, and then my mom had three girls. So, yeah.
Ooh, ooh,
I'm the only
that's
one
bad.
with girls, too.
I had a boy and a girl. Ooh, I'm glad I wasn't blessed that way. Bless your heart. Bless your
Yeah.
heart.
But he knew I could handle it. That's the only thing I can think of. Is like, okay. So,
He give his strongest battles, his hardest battles to the strongest ones. That's what they say.
I
I'm
am a warrior. I am a warrior.
I'm glad that wasn't me. Bless your heart. I'm gonna pray for you. Because I could have did it. I could three girls. Ooh, that one girl of mine, and she the baby. So I can just imagine what you going through with that.
Yeah,
So
see, that's
this
what I'm saying. He picked the right one, I suppose, and then they can be mad at me, and then I'm gonna make them laugh at me. Why can't he be mad?
exactly because you got them laughing, they mad.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the moment of the BTS 30 seconds of fame. So I'm gonna do your countdown. And then after the countdown, you have the platform. This is your time to talk about where to find your book, how to purchase it, what's next for you, how to follow you, all that good stuff about you. Shine on purpose. So after the countdown, it's on you.
All right. See, you done got me up here dancing and everything. So you can get my book from my website. It's opendoorpublishing.net. And don't forget to, I'm on Facebook. It's Treisha Parker Combo. And so the Roots to Fruit Summit is a Facebook group, private Facebook group page. So once you get in there, Treisha Parker Combo, get that friend request, and we'll get on in there. But I'm also on TikTok as Sunshine, and I am on Instagram as Treisha.combo. And I have a radio interview coming up tomorrow on 95.3. So that's one good bonus. There we go. Is that my 30 seconds?
Wow, you still moving. You say you got an interview coming up. Wow.
Tomorrow, 95.3. Yeah.
On the move. You got to stay on the move, though. If you don't stay in their face, you got to sell those books. Are you're independent? Do you
Yes.
self-publish?
Yep.
Yeah, you got to put the work in. When you self-publish, you have to be out there.
Yeah. And I'm just going to keep it real with you. That it was like last year sometime or another, and I was riding home to my mom's house, and I was like, okay, Lord, let me go and say about 500 books, maybe 1,000. And this rascal, I told you my angels be talking to me, and the Lord said, well, how about 1,000,000? I was like, you know, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
need
was
some
looking at it
help
like
on
that
this.
too. Like,
You know, I'm gonna need some help on this, Raj. Okay,
okay,
I'm gonna need a whole lot of help. So, I have been patiently waiting, and sometimes it's been impatient. But I'm patiently waiting. And this week he told me, he was like, you ready? Because it's getting ready to start. And I
mm,
was like, okay. Because so Friday night I'm going out with a girlfriend. Saturday night I have a gala in Newport News that I'm going to. And there's something else that and then the summit starts on Monday. So the summit is 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st. From 12 to 5. So
look at you moving. It's
yeah,
gonna happen. You can't stop it.
right.
She
And that's the
already
thing.
told
So
you.
yeah, and I'm going, and I'm just gonna be excited in the moment and be all right with it. And that's where I'm at.
Just be ready to receive the fruits of your labor.
Oh yeah, 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 definitely.
That's it. That's it. But thank you so much for being a guest and being patient with me in the fact that I was sick today and coming and still being a part of my platform. I do
Not a
appreciate it.
problem. Yeah.
And if there's anything that you need me to advertise for you, send it my way and I will advertise it. I will support you in any way I can.
Okay, so I will send you the Rooster Fruit flyer
I already
because
got
we're
it.
highlighting. Oh, you did? You
I
already did?
got it. I
Okay.
got it. I'ma share it. I
All
sure
right. Yeah.
am.
Yeah. So I'm just excited about that. We're highlighting domestic violence and breast cancer awareness this month. And then I also already have one set up for December, but we haven't got everything finalized yet. So that's the goal, is to go ahead and start virtually and work my way up. I told one of my friends, I said, I'm not Sarah. I ain't saying no last names, but I said, but I ain't trying to be all big like that. But if I can get, a few women to learn and figure out how to love themselves, how to take care of themselves, and, making themselves a priority, that is the goal. Because I'm also getting ready to launch a health and wealth coaching. So that's another thing that I got in my pocket. And I'm just like so excited to
See,
what I can do. I'm like, okay, Lord, I need like 10 clients. So let's get this done. So I'll be sure to talk about that tomorrow on the radio station as well. So once I get situated with that, I will definitely send that your way, because I'm just excited about women loving on themselves, because we always tend to put others before ourselves.
Yes.
I need y'all to switch it, because I mean, even you heard this thing, happy wife, happy life.
Mm-hmm.
You are that. That is you. That's what we talking about, you know? So I gotta love on me first. And that helps me to love on my husband, to love on my kids better, to
Mm-hmm.
always show up as the better version of me, because I'm taking care of me first. And the rest of it is going to just start to fall into place. And I know that we as women, we always, oh, you all right? Everybody all right? And then you lay down in the bed and you done fell right asleep. You ain't thought about no pedicure, no manicure, no foot rub, no nothing. Honey, I'm going
Tired.
to take care of all that.
Tired.
Massage me. Massage that. Touch this. Amen.
Amen.
And then I got you. I got you. Whatever you need, boo, I got you.
Amen.
Look, I told you, see, ain't I doing a good job making you laugh though?
Yeah.
I love putting a smile on people's faces.
Man, I love it. I love it. I love it. So where can I tune in to to you tomorrow? Or is it not live?
It's supposed to be live, 95.3.
Okay. Send me the link, or however I can tune in and I'll tune in for you.
Okay, it's 6 to 9. That's the show. 6 to 9 at night. So I will make sure, because I just know I'm supposed to be there. That's all I know.
That's all you know. You supposed to get details.
Well, I need me an assistant. I need for Chad to be like a real assistant. Now
So I'm just gonna show up.
look, Chad is my Chat GBT. I done named him Chad.
Not
So I
Chad.
need Chad to start. Look, when them robots go down in price, I'm gonna be on it. Okay,
Chad.
that's his name. His name Chad, girl.
That was funny.
Chad,
Oh
I
my
need you.
goodness.
I'm gonna put Chad in that robot once he get down to a certain price where I can afford.
I'm
And
telling
Chad gonna be driving the car and everything.
you.
Okay, Chad, I'm gonna get my money worth out of Chad.
Oh God. I'm gonna use that. What's it, Chad?
That's his
Oh
name.
man.
That's
Oh,
what I have named him, Chat GBT, but he is Chad to me. Me and
oh,
Chad
that
gonna
was
work
too
this
funny.
thing out.
That was too funny. Lord. Thank you so much for being on the platform and making me laugh, because I need that laugh today. I did.
See, laughter is good for your soul, girl.
Yes,
Y'all tell
yes,
you I got
yes,
work to do.
yes, yes. But I got you. I'm locked in with you forever. Like I said, if there's anything I can do for you, I got you. We got to do this together. We got to do this
That's
together.
right. I got you too. So I got some people you definitely need to be interviewing. Pendleton and James. So,
Okay.
and there's another couple people I know, because I hang around authors and I be out there networking every chance I get, girl.
Send them this way. I'll shine that light on them for shining on them. Send them this way.
Yeah, and that's what Pastor had said. He said, turn your light on, shine.
Turn your light on.
Turn your light on. I'm ready.
But thank you so much. I'll see you at the top, because we going there.
That's right. You got that right.
And thank you so much to everybody else that's tuning into this amazing episode. I'm telling you, this has been a great episode. I hope that today's conversation has brought you insight, encouragement, and a reminder that you still can achieve whatever your heart desires. As we continue this journey together, remember, your voice matters, your life matters, and no matter what you were trying to accomplish, you can do it. So if today's episode has touched you, I encourage you to reflect, share, and continue to break the silence in your own life. Until next time, later.
If you only have 24 hours in a day, your success is dependent upon how you use the 24. You got to hear me. People talk about Oprah Winfrey, Ted Turner, Warren Buffett. Listen to me. I don't care how much money you make. You only get 24 hours in a day. And the difference between Oprah and the person that's broke is Oprah uses her 24 hours wisely. That's it. Listen to me. That's it. You get 24. I don't care if you broke, you grew up broke. I don't care if you grew up rich. I don't care if you're in college, you're not in college. You only get 24 hours. And I blew up literally. I went from being a high school dropout to selling 6,000 books in less than 6 months. What happened? My 24 hours. I was like, okay, Eric, you got to get a grip on your 24 hours because you're about to be broke for the rest of your life. And this is all I need you to do for me. I can tell you all about your life if you just write down your 24-hour schedule for me and you let me look at it. I can tell you where you're going to be in 5 years. I can tell you where you're going to be in 10 years. I can tell you where you're going to be in 20 years if you keep that schedule.